bitches. Wanna know how? It ain't gonna happen. Yeah, man. But who we got here with us, man?
Man, we got one of our greatest alliance members. This brother, we aligned ourselves with him in the early 90s when we were just tadpoles in this pool of the music and entertainment industry. And without further ado, let's give it up for my man Billy Bowles.
Yeah, Billy Bowles.
You got to give it up.
For those who don't know who Billy Bowles is, in Dallas we had a ragtag team of like Avengers that ran. They was like circumnavigating and orchestrating this Dallas music scene over all 635.
Yeah.
Billy Bowles, Vanessa Berry. I'm going off the dome. No paper today.
Okay,
Billy Bowles, Vanessa Berry,
check.
Gita, Ramona, Greg Piles.
Check.
Terry Renfro, Terry McGill, Major Money. Remember him? Terry McGill, Major Money. Terry McGill still doing that?
Oh yeah, he I got a Terry McGill story for you.
Okay. So we leave anybody else out? We don't leave that whole team. Y'all are power. Lou Calhoun, Pearl Jones. I'm talking about who else, man? We leaving Chris Ayers.
Yeah, Leroy. Talking about Leroy. He changed his name.
Leroy.
Okay. My boy Leroy.
Yeah, he didn't got a little money. He started calling himself Leroy. Like Terray Jones. Hey, it's one more person
Karen Darby.
Karen Darby. Who?
She was in there at RCA and Jive at the time.
What's the one name? Taryn? It's a lady named Taryn.
Taryn Brown.
Taryn Brown. She got us in Billboard.
Nicole.
She got us a nice story. Shouts out to Taryn. She got us a nice story in Billboard '98. I appreciate her. But it's one person that was with y'all, man. I don't think nobody know this. She passed away in the plane with Aaliyah. Her name is Gina. Remember her?
Gina Armstrong.
She passed away in the plane. When I seen that photo, I got goosebumps years ago. When Aaliyah passed away, she was part of all this. And Billy Bowles and I think him and Greg Powell was kind of like the centrifugal force, the centerpiece behind all this. So we have here a person that people in Dallas must know. And if they don't know, by the end of this podcast, me and Aziz gonna make sure you know, and Beige. We're gonna make sure you know. Because you look, some of the people, that's why I'm wearing this shirt today, this hot, oversized Burlington Coat Factory Outcast jacket. I got this.
They had them up there.
That's why I got this from Burlington.
I think that's where I got mine.
On this show, I keep it real. I'm not one of them kind of high capping type dudes. I got this from Burlington back in the day. Look at it. The zipper broke and it's an extra large. Look how little I am.
Yes, sir.
He promoted Outkast. Look at this.
Notorious
B.I.G.
Notorious B.I.G. And I thank him so much. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I just have to say, Billy Bowles, we love you. What's up, Billy Bowles?
Hey, real quick.
Yeah.
Since we in that zone, Billy, break down what was happening off 635. Because people need to understand exactly what was happening, right? It was like the epicenter of the Southwest region.
Over in North Dallas.
Break down what happened at off of 635.
Can I go to the beginning?
Let's go
to the beginning, man.
So
it's your show.
The beginning for me was a young cat out of Arkansas, out of Little Rock, Arkansas, wanting to get in the music industry.
Okay. Which is you, right?
Which is me.
Okay. All right, just making sure.
Which is me. And after college, I was just like, what's the closest big city I could go to get in the music industry?
Right.
So it's either go to Memphis. I was 1 hour away from Memphis where I went to college.
Okay.
And then the other direction was Dallas.
That you came here.
And then I had, which a lot of people don't know, I had a homeboy who was national director at Motown.
Okay.
And that was Eric Thrasher.
Oh, wow.
Eric Thrasher.
So
what's up, Eric?
I grew up with Eric Thrasher. Under Eric Thrasher, his family had Thrasher Boys Club in Little Rock.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And then when my parents got divorced, my father's roommate was A.D. Washington.
Tell them who A.D. Washington is.
A.D. Washington, at the time when I came to intern at MCA, he was the vice president. He had just left Dallas. But he worked for Stax out of Memphis because he was in Little Rock.
Stax.
My father used to laugh because he was like, at Thrasher Boys Club, they had the baseball field, and they had this man on a tractor that would mow in his overalls that would mow the field. To keep.
Yes, sir.
They called him the farmer. That was A.D. Washington. My father laughed about it because he was like, man, we used to call that dude the farmer, and he ended up making more money than all of us.
Absolutely.
When he came to Dallas and worked for Stax, and I mean, Isaac Hayes was at my father's house.
Wow.
You know, because AD was working records at Stax back then.
Wow.
And then he got with MCA, and the rest is history. So those were my, you know, what I had to see to get into the industry.
Yeah, what they call it, not mantras, muse.
My music,
Your muse.
yeah. That's who I saw come up through the ranks. So when I graduated college, I called Eric, and it was like the best way to get in is get an internship. So I'm full college degree, working 3 part-time jobs, interning for Taryn Brown, because by this time AD was in LA.
Right.
And I'm interning for Taryn Brown at MCA. That's how I got in. Wow. I was taking records to the clubs. I was giving them to the DJs for her. Whatever artist she had in town, I was her assistant. And then I got the job as the field marketing rep for MCA back then. Yeah, man. I was doing country, R&B, everything.
Everything.
You know, everything. Before they became Universal.
Okay.
Then after that, I just started making acquaintances. All the label reps. That's how I got my music. I would go around and give them the MCA music, and they would give me whatever. Everybody back then, that all the record companies, the big 5, had offices here in Dallas.
Yep.
Right.
And that's how we get to where your question is 635. So after I left Universal, I got a job at BMG doing the marketing.
I used to love going up there.
Man, and it was right off of 635.
Man, we used to be up there like it was just like,
man, across the parking lot,
like somewhere just to kick
Warner
it.
Brothers and Will.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then back off of behind, behind the old Valley View and Prestonwood Mall.
Yep.
That's where Polygram was, PGD.
PGD.
TJ Miller was over there. You know, we was all, the big 5.
Remember SEMA?
SEMA was...
It's like in Irvin,
it was
wasn't
in Irvin.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why I met AZ with Pearl and them and Chris Ayers.
That's where Lou Calhoun.
Yes.
Chris Ayers.
Chris Ayers, yeah.
Shouts out to Lou Calhoun.
CeeLo from the West Coast.
Mike Redwine. That's where all of them were.
Yeah.
Man, them names you naming off, man, you know why we smiling? Because, Bill, I want you to know, man, the reason I want you on here, you are so important to us and a lot of people. And there's a lot of people in this Metroplex that did a whole lot of dope stuff that might have been going over everybody's heads. Like, I'm not just wearing an Outkast and Biggie shirt for no reason. I'm doing that because you were an integral part of that, man. Yeah. A lot of people. Name some of the, because I know people like to know that kind of stuff. For these young cats out here watching, name some of the artists that you was a part of their careers, and we can vouch for it too.
Oh, yeah.
You got the hard way to prove it.
Like you said, Outkast,
Outkast.
Monica.
Yes.
Monica.
Usher.
Yeah, I remember that.
When I was at Universal, Jodeci, Boys to Men,
remember
DVD, You Knew Edition, Bobby Brown. I got pictures to still show that. Man, I got video footage somewhere where we took Biggie and Craig Mack to New Orleans, and I was videotaping, and I was like, Big, look at the camera. He's, man, you get out there and sell some of my damn records. I don't want to look at no damn camera.
In New Orleans, what convention was that?
That was actually a trip.
Oh,
to
okay.
visit the market.
So that wasn't the one Vanessa Barrett had me go to, me and Mike B?
Yeah, that was, but that was NBPC you talking about, National Program.
That was so fun. That's when we met TLC. They were so cool.
TLC.
Vanessa Barrett had that happen for us.
Man, R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Aaliyah. We worked all those projects.
Man, Left Eye was so cool.
Man, they all was so cool, man. It was about, man, you actually worked your record.
Yeah.
I don't know what they doing nowadays.
I don't know, because I was going to ask you because what we knew back during our time were these regional offices. Mm-hmm. And those offices were the epicenter for all of these ripples in managers or street teams or reps, whoever. Some people did radio, some people did clubs. Like, that is where they all went to, and then they all went out from there. So what is it now?
That's a good question.
How you work your record now is probably get something going on TikTok.
Is the office still there off 635?
The building is still there.
Yeah. So it's no more
It's no more record companies, branch offices no more.
Why do you think that happened? Because I want to, a lot of the young cats like this young sister over here. They're thinking. They don't realize that sometimes the major record labels are they're a thing of the past. Why do you think that happened?
I think when the internet came. See, I got a chance to be in it before there was cell phones, before there was internet.
I missed them days.
And we actually had to work a record.
Absolutely.
Hey man, me, TJ, Chris Ayers, I can't think of her name, but man, we used to all compete. Leroy. Because we were all the marketing reps.
Yeah.
We used to compete heavy, but we was family.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Y'all were like the Avengers
It was
to me.
all in fun. It wasn't no hate on him or hate on that. We used to compete for the love of the music, of the genres. And man, we used to, it's hard for us to even not be in it.
Right.
Leroy's still in it, working records. Chris Ayers still work for Universal.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Chris Ayers.
You know,
Chris Ayers and what's the name? Lou Calhoun. I think Pearl Jones. They had me chilling with not that I'm name dropping. I'm just telling about the powerful stuff like AZ. When they did Nas, I'm sitting there listening to his album. AZ sitting right there like, wow, AZ became to be who he is with Nas or whatever. So that couldn't have happened without him.
These people put in time and energy into these people's craft.
Yeah.
You couldn't go to K104 and not deal with Pearl Jones. I used to tell Pearl, I
Pearl.
was scared of you.
I follow Pearl on TikTok. What up, Pearl?
Me and Pearl, the best of friends. I could call her now.
Right.
Man, but you had to deal with Pearl. Even though she wasn't a program director, she was the promotions director.
That's how I met Pearl, going to
You had
Skip
to
Cheatham.
deal with Pearl. You just couldn't come up in there, and she made that place tick. Along with man, I can't think of her name. I just was looking at her on social media. Terry Avery was a program director back then. Y'all was coming up. Y'all was little dudes, man. And
Billy, y'all.
you can't forget about Nicole Snyder.
What about Valisa
Todd
Creighton? Did she help up there?
Valisa came later. Valisa and Nichelle came later.
Okay.
But they did their thing too.
Nichelle, what was her last name?
Poindexter. Yeah.
Well,
She's in
we calling the names to get it going.
Yeah, man. It was, you gotta call the names because man,
Yes.
it was so many of us that man, we worked together, even though we worked for different companies. We came together when we needed to do different things. Man, you can't forget about all the DJs in the city that
Back in the Greg Street era.
Greg Street.
Reggie D.
My main man, Nippy Jones.
Nip.
I'm tight at night.
Nippy Jones.
I was on your radio.
A lot of people don't know I did the intro for me and James did the intro for Tight at Night. Shouts out to Nippy Jones and rest in peace to Cocoa Butter. Cocoa Butter passed away. I don't know if y'all know that. About 3 years
Cocoa Butter,
ago.
Ushay.
He passed away.
Yeah, man.
Shouts out to Ushay Lakeside.
Ushay was so deep in it that his family didn't even know he was Ushay.
Wow.
They found out he was Ushay at the funeral.
Wow.
His brother stood up and said, "Thank y'all for coming, but we had no idea who y'all was talking
For those who
about."
don't know who Ushay is, Ushay was a
Work
part. Let me tell you, like we just can't skip over a name. Like not to cut you off, Billy, but we can't skip over a name like Ushay. Some of the first rap records that were ever recorded.
Yeah.
Was from what Ushay called in Dallas was called Star Study Struggle called Network, and FBI Fresh Brothers Incorporated with Snoopy. If you look down in the City Hall, they record with some of the first records that's in City Hall of Dallas, first hip hop. So
And
there's
that was
Ushay.
before I came here.
Yeah.
I knew about
That's like in
Network
the 80s.
in Arkansas.
Work. I go, work that net. Oh, you got the work that net.
Yeah,
Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
We talking about history. That's Ushay.
That was
Yeah.
I was
Billy.
there. I was there.
You dropping? I ain't heard your name, boy. Rest in peace to Ushay.
One thing that I did like about, although everybody worked at different offices for different companies, whenever somebody had an event, everybody was there.
We came. We invited. We did that on purpose.
we knew, because we weren't a part of the inner circle. We was trying to get on.
We forced
but we
ourselves.
knew that when BMG
but
was
y'all
having
became
something,
a part of it by
Yes.
the way y'all did it.
yeah, we had to hustle. But we knew when BMG did something that everybody else was going to be there. So it was like, shooting fish in a barrel type thing. We get to talk to everybody. And all we had to do was our goal was to be consistent. We wanted to be consistent. When there's an event, you see us, and we're trying to finagle and figure out how we can position ourselves, because at the time, we're trying to be artists, but we also understand where we are.
Right.
So you had to be a little bit more than an artist in order to get some things to jump off for you. So we had other talents, and that's when we kept pitching ourselves.
Y'all flipped it.
Ways.
Y'all flipped it. And I'm the camera on me.
I want to hear what he got to say.
They was Wu-Tang before Wu-Tang.
Wow. We opened up for Wu-Tang, remember?
Starvyn was already Wu-Tang before Wu-Tang.
We opened up for Wu-Tang on 635, remember that? They opened up for us, one of them.
Y'all came so strong that we had to let y'all. It got to the point where, hey, call the cats at Starvyn and get them in the magazine. Yeah. The Starvyn magazine. Then they was performing. So they was out, like you said, y'all was artists that just flipped it to get in the door.
Had to.
And man, I gotta take my hat off, which I don't have one on, but
this is Billy. What you seeing right now is like an extension of Starvyn from back then.
Right.
But that's what. Let me show you something. I got a little something you told me to bring.
You got the bag of tricks.
I gotta show y'all something, man, so y'all won't think we playing. You see these magazines? I don't play.
Yeah, I'm right there.
Look at this.
Yes.
We interviewed Biggie. For what? Tell them about this
Let me
day. Hold one. Tell them about that. We're gonna talk about which one happened first. We're gonna get in chronological. May. What day was that? What's that on?
This right here was October.
That means this came first.
Yes.
We're going to talk about the day that we interviewed the great Andre. Look at the back to Starvyn. No, we had hair. Look at that. We interviewed the great Big Boy and the Andre 3000 of Outkast. First of all, did you know they were going to be iconic like that?
Had no idea. I'm going to tell you, but let me tell you how smart they were. Yeah, y'all interviewed them here.
Yeah.
And later that night, we took them to the Palm. Remember when the Palm was down in West End? No, the Palm restaurant. Oh. With the big lobsters.
Okay.
You got to put the bib on.
Okay, yeah.
You got to put the bib on.
So, you know, they were just coming into the game. And so Big Boy was like, get what you want, nigga. It's on Arista. Get what you want. Man, all them jokers had the bibs on with the big lobsters. They was going to town. So me and Vanessa, some of the people from LaFace, we was sitting at another table, and I turned and I said, they don't know. And they was like, shh.
Wow. It's coming out
they
the
don't
budget.
know that it's coming out of your budget.
Ding.
Yeah,
ding,
get what you want. It's on Arista. Yeah, Arista gonna pay for it.
Who did that, Big Boy?
Big Boy was like, get what you want.
He Aquarius.
It's on Arista. So the young lady, a shout out, cause
there you go. Just continue. I'm being country. I've got to put it on mute.
The young lady that was with us, Shanti Das. Shout out to Shanti Das.
Shanti Shoestring Das.
Shoestring Das. Man, call her and get on because she's doing a whole mental health thing. Yeah, man, she's doing her thing.
Trying to get a hold of it.
The Living Legends Foundation of the industry just gave her an award. So congratulations.
Her nephew, real quick, her nephew and my son play on the same team. They play for Georgetown.
Wow.
And I told my son, I said, tell Santi Das, that's his name, Santi, tell him that I know his aunt and his other aunt, Sumi Das. So, sister, so go ahead.
Yeah, they, so when they went back to ATL, Shanti broke it down for them.
Oh, wow.
So like a week later, they came back and we were in San Antonio.
Okay.
And so after we did, you know, when you come into a market, you do the press run, you do the retail run, you do the radio run.
Right.
You do all of that. So by the time we got through, before the performance that night, Vanessa said, all right, where y'all want to go eat? Big Boy said, nah, you can drop me off at this Burger King right here.
Exactly.
Once they wise up to the game, and that's why who they are today, because they listened to what Shanti told them, and then they started paying attention to what was going on.
Right.
Then that's when later on you saw the clothing line come.
Yes.
You saw
they
started paying attention to their money. Yeah. They ended up buying Stankonia Studios in Atlanta. Producing. Right?
Yeah.
Man, so
hey, Billy, man, I mean, really, don't you ever just sit back and look at TV like, man, I was a part of helping Andre 3000 and Big Boy? Because look at the proof. And I tell some people sometime, and they get that look. No. It's facts right here. Matter of fact, I had video. We was freestyling with them. Really, like Aziz said, we really just wanted to rap with them. That's our way in. Like, I want to rap with Andre 3000. You like, man, I was a part of that career. And you helped us. Without you and Vanessa, Barry, and all y'all, this wouldn't have happened.
But you got to understand, when it comes to a group like Outkast, their first outing really isn't New York.
Right.
Because since they were coming out of the South, they had
New York wasn't even trying to hear.
They wasn't at all.
They rapped in the tunnel though.
Yeah,
they did a show at the tunnel.
But they had to come through Dallas.
Yeah.
Because of how the Dallas market, which I want you to explain, the significance of the Dallas market in reference to buying versus selling. So when I mean selling as an individual artist or versus buying on a consumer level, because we are buyers in the Dallas area, but we aren't really
sellers. Yeah. So, man, I give you a perfect example. Me and Greg Powell had KRS-One in the market.
I was there.
And we were riding around going from radio station to a couple retail spots. Now, this is KRS-One.
Yes.
You know, he's selling some records, but he could not get airplay here.
At all.
And we're in the car. I'm in the front seat, Greg driving. KRS-One and young lady, I don't remember who it was sitting in the back seat. He said, "What do we have to do?" That was, he was like, "Do we need to get him some cocaine or whatever?" He asked Greg.
So let me ask you one more question. Who did you say you was promoting for right then? Who you say you was in the back seat? KRS-One or who? Boogie Down Productions.
Boogie Down Productions.
Who you with?
He was Greg Powell, me, Greg Powell.
Good God Almighty, this bag today.
I got something for you.
He got the bag.
Look at this pitch.
Ha!
Wow.
Man.
Yeah. Look at this picture. Man, I have nothing to be played with. This is Billy Bowles, Greg Powell, KRS-One, and John Wiley Price. Man, I keep everything. Receipts.
Man, I need to get a copy of that, man.
I bet you can take a picture of everything. This yours, man. I kept this stuff all these years, like what's 94? I kept all that stuff.
Man,
people be underestimating me.
To Greg, man.
Show that to Greg, man. That's KRS-One. I was so glad you brought that up.
Don't worry. I'm gonna make it pop up on the
Look,
screen.
but think about that. KRS-One.
Yeah. I got
John Wiley Price, Greg Powell, and you.
Man.
You didn't know that, did you?
Nah,
That's
man,
why I said, you got to come. I got something for you. I can't believe you said we're going to sit there right there, but we're going to have Aziz pop it in there, but we're going to pop it up there.
Yeah. Man.
I mean, now tell the story. Now, I'm glad. I didn't know you were going to bring it up. That was the perfect segue.
I mean, and that leads into something that I guess I'm going to be frowned on for talking about, but payola was big.
God. Oh, wow.
Payola is big.
Brother.
And it's still big. So,
Brother.
Hey,
I'm a snitch. I'm snitching today. I'm snitching today. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get off course.
That's why KRS said, "Do we got to get him some cocaine,
KRS
some women?
Mr. Walt?
What do I got to do?
You better believe
to get my record played."
You better believe. I found me and Mike B. Michael Bailey. See,
Mike B. What's
Mike
up?
B. is the one who really took the label promotions and all of that. He took that. So, like, that is what he did. He spearheaded that out of everyone in our crew. So he aligned himself with a label after hanging up posters for y'all and then Chris Ayers and doing all of that, because that's what you had to do. I don't see no posters no more. But back in the day,
flats.
it was posters and flats everywhere. You had to take pictures of it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? On this day, I was here. You had to do recaps and everything. But we're down in Houston with... I don't remember. It was we might have been promoting the West Side Connection or something. We literally, because this is after the fact. I think the statute of limitations is up. But we literally had to, and this is a popular station down in Houston. We had to buy like 30 PlayStations.
Mm-hmm.
We had strippers. Mm-hmm.
I'm not shocked.
And get a hotel room. You know what I'm saying? Not a little bitty one, but a suite, a big hotel room for the DJs at the station and at the clubs that came after hours.
Oh, he's snitching.
To have this big old nasty event. I stayed in the car the whole time. I didn't even go upstairs. I was up there when the setup happened, and then I went to the car and went to sleep because I just couldn't be a part of this. I felt like I was gonna go to hell. Listen, it was that raunchy, but that is what. Those are some of the extremes that we had to do just to get people involved. Even if it was a known artist, even if you know you gonna play this song. You know everybody gonna love this song. You know what I'm saying? But now it was adopted as this is a part of the process. What are you willing to give in order to get this music played? And when I started seeing that, I had to do something else.
If you'd have had some cocaine, would you have got it for him? You get Careless One on the radio?
Man, we would go in the...
Yeah. You look at the feeling, yeah. Man. Hey, we taking it.
Man, they used to... Back in the day when I first got in it, and when I came to BMG, Greg Powell was the marketing person.
Yep.
So he did the retail.
Yeah. Okay.
And he moved up to the radio part. So I came in on the tail end before SoundScan.
Okay.
Wow.
So how they got those records to #1 on Billboard is the retailers had to report to Billboard, what's your top seller?
Facts.
So if my top seller was Pikahsso, I might have gave a big screen TV. Remember what's the big disc? The
Sony Laserdisc thing?
The Laserdisc.
Big like records.
They was giving away TVs, trips.
Yes, sir.
Everything to get that reported.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden on Billboard you see Pikahsso at #1.
Yes, sir.
Because it was reported, and then SoundScan came into play, and that's how they started doing it. So you actually had to sell something.
Yes. Or sometimes it was a literal buyback.
Right.
It was a literal, we ship these to you. We're sending somebody in. You got $5,000, buy all them CDs. Or you just give them the $5,000. You know what I'm saying? They keep the CDs, but they don't scan those when they sell those because they've already been bought.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Sound a little crooked.
Look, listen, this is when I knew as an artist, I said, man,
you don't want to play that game.
Yeah, I got $10. I don't have a chance in getting my stuff played because I'm coming with nothing but talent and good energy. I don't have no budget. I don't have no mini disc players. I don't have PlayStation. I don't have nothing to get this stuff played. And this is what the big guys were having to do. So imagine me trying to go up against that. It's almost mission. It's almost.
But look at all the stuff that we accomplished with nothing, though.
That's
not to be
big
arrogant.
facts.
Even us, we accomplished a lot with nothing.
Yes.
I remember like, how do we finagle our way? Like, I'm like, why are we in the room with Guru and Gangstar?
Yeah.
Just in there talking to them, or MC8, or Redman, or Andre 3000,
Right.
Or the great, man, you just can't go past no names like this.
Yeah.
Biggie Smalls and Craig Mack, to me, the catalyst that started Bad Boy. One for them two, especially Craig Mack. Rest in peace to both of them.
Craig Mack was the first artist.
Absolutely.
So talk about Biggie and Craig Mack. What was it like working a project? Biggie and Craig Mack.
Well, you have to give it up to Puffy because if he don't do nothing else, he gonna promote.
Absolutely. He's the king of the street.
He's the king of the street team, the king of promoting.
Yeah.
Come on now, that Big Mac.
Yeah.
When we talked about on the phone, man, you gave me that, or one of y'all, I don't know, it came in the mail and I had it and I threw it away, and that Biggie movie came out. Like, what in the hell did I throw that away for?
Yep, because I don't even have mine.
It came in a Big Mac box, and I threw it in. I just wanted to listen to Me and My. That's matter of fact, the Me and My Bitch song had a Minnie Riperton sample. Dun, 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 dun. If you look on, you can find it. They switched it up, I guess, when the album dropped.
There's a picture somewhere of them three, Diddy, Biggie, and Craig Mack in a McDonald's holding that Big Mac thing.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And it's like McDonald's let them come in there and take a picture.
Yeah.
Not knowing that it was going to turn out to be these guys.
Yep.
And flavor in your ear and all of that. It was...
The art of promotions was
a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people in Dallas are part of some major stuff, major hip hop. We're a part of this 50 hip hop, this whole Dallas, Starvyn, you, all the people we named off. A lot of people don't know that. It's time for the world to know. That's why we got guys like you on here.
If some of these artists that come through here now, first of all, I appreciate y'all having me here because sometimes, like you said earlier, I forgot about this.
I did. You know how long I had this Billy in the box?
Remember, you hit me up.
Right. You told me.
I need you to come be on the show.
Right.
And I said, give me a minute. Yeah. And then like a month later, he hit me up.
Talking
and then he was like, if I'm interested, call me.
Right.
So I was like, I gotta call this dude. Because I'm definitely interested. I can't not go. I told my wife, I was like, I gotta go to this.
Absolutely.
Billy, we appreciate you, man.
Man, because these dudes, and what I admire about y'all, because I want this to get on tape and documented, because a lot of artists don't understand this. Y'all had ownership of all of this.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that. See, we worked for the label, but y'all owns y'all shit.
Yeah.
If I could say shit.
Yeah, we say what you want, man. It's your flowers, man.
Say that shit.
And that's another reason why I came here today, because I admire what y'all did. Well, how old was y'all?
I was like 20. I was like 23, 24.
I was like 19 at the time.
Come on, man.
Yeah, 20, 19, 20. Yeah.
Yeah, we were young.
I mean, y'all was real young, handling business.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was really the brainchild of him and Mike B and James.
But here's the kicker. Y'all was teenagers down there handling business, and all of y'all went on to own y'all. I ran into him at the workforce, and I said, "What you doing up here?" I'm delivering T-shirts to.
Yeah, he always done the graphics.
And that was before Vanessa died. She was working in one of the buildings up there, and I was like, "Man, Vanessa right in there," and he was delivering T-shirts. You was doing your thing.
James
is doing his thing, you know.
Yeah. Mike is doing his
Mike
thing.
is doing his thing.
Swiss, you know, Swiss of Starvyn him.
Yeah.
Him?
Yeah.
He got his own court king where he do basketball courts now.
Yeah, he do
And
custom
pickleball
basketball
courts.
and pickleball courts
Yeah.
where he paint them.
Swiss the big cheese.
Oh man,
Yeah,
see,
yeah.
that's what I'm
One of the
talking
dopest
about.
rappers in Dallas.
Because all of us, I thought I was gonna be this big record exec
Yeah.
going to LA or New York.
Right, yeah, that's what we did.
You know, that's what.
That's what we think.
But I ain't own shit.
Yeah.
You know,
but you would need it though, man.
Oh no, I was needed.
You was
and
needed.
I received that,
Yeah.
but I just wanted to be known on video, audio, whatever we recording here.
Right.
That these dudes own this. They own this.
Yeah.
And
we brought
got
it back, what, 30 years later?
30 years later and still own it. And each of them had that for. Sometimes we have to work for other people, but for the most part, they work for themselves.
Look at the logo then, and look at the logo now.
Provide, right. The growth.
The vintage logo.
The growth.
He was just a logo back then.
and man, y'all need to be recognized for that and applauded for that, because
Thank you, man.
as younger men, we wasn't even thinking about that. We was thinking about some damn title.
In a company. In a company. Yeah.
That wasn't gonna keep you long. Eventually, you're gonna have to leave.
Yeah.
Because the changing of the guard happens so much.
Yes, it does.
And you know, you could be doing great, but if the next man that come in at the top don't want to do it your way, all right, Pikahsso, you out. I'm gonna take Aziz.
So you don't think
he gonna be my new?
Do you think the music industry just kind of just treat y'all like disposable heroes, just throw them away? They threw y'all away for what?
I don't think they could throw us away because of who we were back then. I mean, who I was back then is why y'all got me here today.
Yeah,
exactly.
And so that's the part that I admire, because like I told my wife, I was like, man, I gotta go. Man, that's a great one. When he did that rap and said my name in that rap.
Oh, that's Butterfly Effect. Remember
Man,
that? Oh, that's the
was-
Complete the MC album.
Man, I was doing something and I came across it and I heard my name. Start, you know, let me rewind
We'll put
back.
that part. That's on Complete the MC's album. We'll put that part right here.
Yeah,
Butterfly Effect. Billy Bowles and Vanessa. We had an interview in Outkast.
To hear that, man, it was like a breath of fresh air. Like I was floating.
Yeah.
Because I did do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And people don't believe us.
Absolutely. Now, you know, one thing I always say is sometimes when you're constantly working, when you find yourself always moving, growing, making something happen, the small steps that we take, that we view as small steps, to others really impact them, and we don't even realize it. People have basically, they basically spun off of this one project that we did to go do something else, and I feel like that in reference to what you guys were doing, because we had no real clue or concept on what it was like behind the curtain in the Wizard of Oz. We didn't know what was really happening. We just thought it was this one person in New York because it's always New York. It's just one dude in New York who signed the checks, and you get this deal. We didn't have a concept or a clue of there's a whole team that's designed just to get the song on the radio. There's a whole sub team that is dividing the city into parts that just promote and put up posters, and they go to all the retail. It's just so much into having an album. And those who knew that and those who understood that, they have, I won't say had, they have the longevity to this day. And I'm speaking about people like Souls of Mischief. Souls of Mischief understood how to sell records from a marketing and promotional standpoint. And even though they haven't been on the label for almost 30 years, I don't even know how long
they celebrate 30 years.
Yeah, 31,
years. 93 till infinity.
Right. So they've been all these years not on a label, but they have mastered the promotions and marketing side of it, which makes them relevant, if only to a niche market. We now understand that if you own 100%, this niche market is a whole lot of money. People think that 75 to 100,000 people are your fans ain't nothing. Add a zero to that and drop an album every year. You understand what I'm saying? You are literally a millionaire. You're literally, and they sell merch. They do everything that the major label that they learned by being under Jive. They learned that, and then they just did it on a micro. It's like
they were doing it before.
Was it?
Souls of Mischief?
Yeah.
They were doing it before they got with Jive.
What were they doing?
They had their, as far as promoting and marketing themselves, even if they had their own crew. I don't know.
Hieroglyphics
Was that was already making a buzz. That's how they got signed, because they had created a buzz in the Bay Area on their own. So when it didn't pan out with Jive all the way, guess what? We go back to what
was it like working a subterranean group like Souls of Mischief in Dallas?
They were underground. They pretty much worked themselves.
They didn't need no radio promotions.
They didn't care.
Yeah.
Like me, I don't care about this shit.
They didn't care. They made so much. They were
the internet.
For
before
example,
the internet.
The Return to the 36 Chambers, Wu-Tang. It sold 500,000.
Terry Renfro.
He must be outside.
Terry Renfro outside.
Yes, sir, my friend. I'm on the air live.
What's up, Terry?
Talking to you on the phone.
The silent assassin.
Are you outside the door?
I don't think he can hear you. He got his speaker on.
Yeah, just Sweet 222.
We got another record industry executive, Terry Renfro, the silent assassin.
All right. Yeah, but it sold 500. It went gold in New York alone.
Okay.
Wu-Tang did that first album.
What's the name of that album?
Into the 36 Chambers.
Yeah.
Into the 36 Chambers, which they celebrating 20, 30 years now.
Yeah.
All that stuff came out that was a dope year, like 94. Because I'm looking at this year.
Yeah.
It was a lot of dope stuff came out.
But back then, they went gold in New York alone.
I believe it.
They came to Houston and got chased out of the venue.
I believe
they got chased out of the venue because back then, just like KRS-One, man, now you put on Cream, people go crazy. It don't matter where they are.
You better believe it.
But back then, they went to Houston.
Wow.
They got chased. They had to run up out that club.
I mean, when they were at the venue,
that's we did that show with them.
Yeah, wasn't nobody. It was us and like 5 other people that was like,
but we opened up for Wu-Tang back in the 94.
People was up in there like, man, what are they doing? These people, why he got stockings on his face? They were just saying all of that type stuff. But for some reason, somehow, I think because we were artists, we recognized they are dope.
Yeah.
Souls of Mischief, they are dope.
We've always big conglomerates, Souls of Mischief. Like you just said, what you say, Starvyn kind of mind your Wu-Tang? I can see that.
Yeah.
Now I think about it.
Yeah.
Because they did, I mean, if you watch that TV show, you see everything unfold.
I see it.
Who would he be?
I see it.
Like the RZA? Even though he's more kind of like a leader type. Even though he wasn't the oldest. Even though he's not the oldest. Me and Vernon probably was the oldest. I'm probably was the oldest in Starvyn,
Yeah.
James, more like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Man, y'all all had
We all had our superpowers.
Yeah, y'all did. And y'all made it work. And knowing what I know now about entrepreneurship and business, y'all was on the right track.
I know you keep bringing that up, man. Why is it so important for the people out there listening? The entrepreneurship.
No, it's important to me because I came up in the era of go to school, get good grades, you'll get a good job.
Yeah, that's what they told us.
Yeah, we was talking about that on the phone.
That's what they told us.
And let me just say, I don't care what nobody say. This is my opinion.
Yeah.
This is Billy Bowles' opinion. That's bullshit.
Damn.
And I was standing on top of the roof and say it with a megaphone. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
In some cases. I'm not saying that I'm against education.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not. No, my father was an educator.
Right.
Wow.
And he even told me. I told him, Pops, that was the biggest crack of shit you ever told me.
That's real talk.
And he said, son, you right.
Yeah.
Because things changed.
Yeah.
And they flipped. And but my oldest daughter, we told her, go get a trade, and then when you go to school, you use your trade to make money while you going to school.
Absolutely.
Because I went in debt. It cost, when I went to college all those years ago, it cost me $19,000 all 4 years.
Okay.
I got up to $46,000 trying to pay loans back.
Right.
It just got forgiven.
Wow.
So I'm grateful for that. But selling somebody that don't want to go to school, telling them they got to go to school, and the job market is like, I didn't get no good job.
Right.
I mean, I got a job.
Right.
But I didn't. And a lot of these kids that's going to college and getting these degrees and master's degrees, they thinking they supposed to come out of school and start out making 60, 70, 80 grand a year.
Nope.
That's not going to happen unless you know somebody in there or it's your family's company.
Yeah.
But that's the only way that it's going to happen. Shoot, when I was at BMG, the field marketing rep, I made $18,500 with a college degree.
Damn. Look at Terry. Look at
$18,500.
That was a lot of money though in the 90s though.
Sacrifices. Though.
No, that wasn't.
You don't think so?
Not when you had a son and a wife.
Sacrifices.
Ooh.
And, mortgage and all that stuff. $18,500.
Let me ask you a question, man. Because me and Aziz talked about this. Do you think the stuff that we learned in 1989 is relevant in this day? Sometimes I feel like what I went to school for is obsolete, like typing like ASD, JK, semicolon, and Tinky. Sometimes I wonder, sometimes we maybe was too ahead of our time.
I think it's relevant because if this generation had to go through what we went through back then, they can't function.
No,
when I explained to my kids that we didn't have no cell phones, they was like, "What?
No GPS?
No man, we used
rotary phones.
We used to walk from school through the trail in the woods.
Yes, sir.
Could have got killed. Anything.
We were latchkey kids.
There were and during the day, as a child, there was at least 4 hours where no one knew where you were, where you been,
right?
How to get a hold of you,
right?
Nothing. And it wasn't a shock. Nobody was worried about that. You know what I'm saying? But now, hey, if your phone ain't on, as a parent, I'm having a.
They can trace you.
Yeah, like literally. I got that on all the phones. But you know what? We need to know where you are at all times. But back then, man, I'm gone. I made sure not to be in the house because I don't want to vacuum.
Yeah.
I don't want to clean up. I don't want to mow the yard. So when the sun came up, I ate me some breakfast and I was on my bike. And
but as a black man, you know when to be home and when is that?
Yeah, when the street light.
When that light come on. We do that, or we gonna have that belt waiting for us.
Yep.
We got whoopings back then. They don't believe in whooping kids. That's against the law. I wish I would tell my stay down. I'm gonna take him to jail for giving me a whooping.
It's more sex trafficking going on now.
Absolutely.
With technology.
Absolutely.
than it did when
I'm
we
kind of glad. If I had that in high school, man, you know I've been on F on a roll.
Yeah.
Oh
I'd have been all up at Carter, having. And let me stop. We got to. Let me stop. Let me stop. We got the sister here. Let me stop. Let me stop.
I would have been a father.
I had maybe about 12. Granddad been 20.
I didn't have this, and I was a father at 18.
See, there you go.
So
my conversation was too good. It's too good. I didn't need a phone. So real quick, when we talk about the aspects of going to college and getting out, because I'm like, as a parent, I have I have kids in college.
Whoa.
I have one that was in college, and he said, "Dad, it's not for me." And that's literally, he's literally my clone, even though they all look just like me.
Yeah,
but
you
he's
do.
literally my clone, and he's doing his thing. So when I see him, I see me. And I don't want to give him the same energy that I got in reference to, well, if you don't go to college, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like the world ended for you. Like you gave up, you gave in, and it's just different for, again, this set of kids, because they have access to so much information. Matter of fact, they have access to everything.
I was about to say
Too much.
Too much information.
Too much information. And so now
But I got a question for you.
Yeah.
First question, did you find out what it is, when he said it's not for me, did you find out what it is he wants to do?
Well, he wasn't exactly sure. But what he was sure about was school wasn't it.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so once we establish that, we have a certain level of rules. Okay. So if you're not good, because he was at Jarvis. So he went, COVID hit, and, he was running track, he had track scholarship and everything. And then when they missed that season, sometimes when you remove someone from something that they like to do, school was second to him. Track was first. He went to school so he could run track.
Yeah.
So you remove
Real
track.
talk, yeah.
What's the point in me being here? Yeah, he's like, Dad, I done had about 4 fights in the dorm, had to mop these boys up. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how he is. And he just said, you know what? I'm not going back. He said, but I got this. And literally haven't asked me for anything.
Right.
So he went and he got his job. He will work for me. And now he does exactly what I do. So he got all my accounts with all my distributors and my shirts. He got his own clients. He just got a house out in Anna. So, and this is at 24. He's 24 right now. And he's doing his thing. He got a nice car, him and his girl. But he understands
the work ethic is there.
The work ethic, because he saw me.
Right.
All he ever saw was me working. I had my own business. He was there. Him and his brother and his siblings, they were there when I was printing shirts. They were there. They saw me mess up an order and have to be there for 2 days straight to fix the order. So he understood that. And to him, he said, I don't want to do exactly that, because now he's in a world where he's saying, but Dad, and this is what make me feel old. You don't have to do that like that anymore. They have this now. You don't have to do that. You don't even have to have all of this. You can just be online and you can have this, this, and this. And so he has a better perspective of how to handle business, because I still come from a brick and mortar, you know what I'm saying, type of mindset. So that told me I need to have a building. I need to have this merchandise right here. I got to have somebody working on this day and this day. And he's like, nah. You don't do none of that. You know what I'm saying? He's like, Dad, just imagine you would save about $6,000 a month. You know what you can do with $6,000? I said, of course I do. But he has that understanding. And so I respect him for saying, no, this is what I want to do, or I don't want to do this. I'm not sure what I want to do, but so right now I'm going to do what I know, which is what I taught him. But you got other kids where they don't know what they're going to do, and all I'm saying is, say, go to school. Just go. And once you figure out what you want to do, I want you to be in an environment where you're still learning, we're still taking care of you while you're being an adult, because you're not in our house. Right. So you're an adult doing your thing, but we're still kind of helping you out. We make sure you eat and everything. And then once you figure it out, then you can jump out there on your own. But just don't say, I'm not going to do it. And then, no, I'm not with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to have to do something, because rent's due on the first. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I hate to be like that, but rent's due on the first. And if you are at the age where you can get a job, you either need to be a full-time athlete, because if you're a full-time athlete in my house, you're good.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, we're going to go to train. We're going to do all of that. But if you just a student, you're going to be a working student.
Wow.
Either you're a student athlete or you're on the dance or you're on the drill team.
Yeah.
You're doing something because this is your moment when you don't have those responsibilities. You don't have, we got this right here.
Right.
All I'm saying is that the cup that you do have, you need to fill it up. You need to fill your cup up, and then you need to determine whether or not you got a mug or a gallon jug.
Show them that
you know
mug,
what I'm
by the way.
saying? Oh, this is a nice mug.
While we on mugs.
Starvyn.
Yeah, Starvyn.
I like that mug.
But listen, either you got a mug or you got a gallon jug. Let's see your potential. How much can we fill you up so when you do leave this nest, what we're looking at now is a person that knows this is what I can do. I'm capable of this. And I learned that while I was at the house. Sometimes we position our children ultimately to fail because we don't know what they're capable of doing. And then we push them out of the nest and we look at them and we have a scolding type of, I told you so when you didn't teach me so. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you told me so, but you didn't teach me so.
Yeah, that's something.
You know what I'm saying? And I
talking
can't
about in our
tell you
house.
what to do. I tell my kids all the time, I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm just trying to show you how to think. So if I can empower you to think, then when you're in a situation where I'm absent of that situation, now at least I can say, I know this baby that I got. When faced with adversity, they're going to think and they're going to do something. They're not going to do anything rash because they know that the brand is on the line and the brand is me. Aziz brand, the brand is on the line. You can never disrespect the brand.
Exactly.
How you think you did as a father?
I think I did an awesome job.
Wow.
That's what I'm talking
I
about.
think I did an awesome job well, first of all, my goal was to not exactly go through what I went through as a kid, even though history repeated itself a little bit with my son.
Yeah.
But watching him as a father, I did all right.
That's what the ribbon is. The blue ribbon is in that.
I did all right, and to have my grandson come up to me and talk to me about Biggie Smalls, and then I tell him, "Oh yeah, I know Biggie Smalls." Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Papa, you know Biggie Smalls?
Yeah.
And then I pulled out. I got a picture on this phone. We had Mr. Blues, me, Biggie, Craig Mack,
Yes, sir.
all of us at the store, and I showed him that picture.
Okay.
Wow, my papa knows Biggie Smalls.
My grandfather's an icon. To us,
And he don't even know about that part yet.
icon. To us, we are.
I mean, he comes in that house, he don't even look to the right when he walk in at that room or to the left, where all the plaques are on the wall.
I bet you got a lot of plaques too.
I got a whole wall full of them. I don't know if I got as many as him.
With Terry Renfro,
He got the big
the silent
ones.
assassin.
Yeah, he got the big
I like
but
Terry.
I got a whole room full. My office is completely full.
What's your most, out of all your plaques, which one you the most proud of?
The one that I'm most proud of,
Yeah.
I would have to say I'm proud of all of them because that's an accomplishment coming out of little bitty Little Rock, Arkansas.
Overstood.
Lil Rock.
Yeah, hey, my wife was even like, "You hanging on? You still hang? Girl, I earned these."
Man, let me say, what do you? I'm not dissing your wife, but a lot of women don't understand how
She was
important
like,
that stuff
"You
is,
wanna
man.
hang this
Look at
stuff?"
this stuff, man.
Even my mother, I think, said that you got all. I earned.
Think about this, Billy. I kept this stuff in a box for like 30 years. Now, I was dating this chick. I'm gonna throw that stuff away. No, you ain't. I wish you would.
Yeah.
You crazy?
Yeah.
Man, imagine if I'd have threw this, if I'd have listened. We wouldn't have had this day today.
Right.
I always wonder when would be the perfect time to present this. And it's always the perfect time. When I said your name, I looked at that box. I found it. Man, so this is what you call.
I do not have that. It's like
This is what you call like not an antique. This is what you call provenance.
Yeah.
Provenance is a word for like an antique or like a something vintage. A provenance. I like to propagate a word. Like I said, lexicon. I'm an artist. Provenance.
Yeah.
This is like some antique. So you cannot throw away stuff like this. And you artists out there, if your girlfriend or your boyfriend don't see the value of this stuff, one day this stuff will be valued. One day.
Yeah.
This is a picture of KRS-One, Greg Powell, Billy Bowles, and John Wiley Price at the radio station, Soul 73. This is iconic. Now imagine if I'd have thrown it away because I cease and I second and I fold it in, not on fold. We don't. This is our art. This is all we got. Billy Bowles don't know this is a guy, a little eccentric guy out of South Dallas that he gave us some to. He don't even realize how much he means to me. Terry Renfro don't know. Valisa Creighton, all them guys like and all the Mona and Gita, they don't realize how important y'all are. And that's me.
Man, we need to do something where we all come in here together.
Yeah,
I'm with it.
Yeah.
We get everybody.
You know,
I'm with that.
Piggybacking off what Pikahsso was saying is people love the artist. Yeah. They love Outkast. Yeah. They love KRS-One. But how do you think you heard of Outkast and KRS-One? How do you think you were exposed to that? Because they could still, Outkast could still be some boys in Atlanta, Georgia right now, you know what I'm saying, making beats and making mixtapes and that nobody ever heard about. So that plaque that's on your wall, that is representative of whatever their height is your height. There is no step down. Because they couldn't have stepped up without you guys doing what you have done, which is why they give y'all plaques. They don't give you plaques just to be like, oh, you my homeboy.
Right, exactly.
You my homie, and I'm going to give you a plaque too. You know what I'm saying?
You get a plaque, and you get a plaque.
It's
Remember
plaques
Oprah?
that I should have gotten
like
that
what?
I didn't get.
Name one. I want to know that.
I ain't never get an Usher plaque. And I should have got an Usher plaque.
I remember meeting Usher. He was like a kid, remember?
It's some others. I think I got one Tony Braxton plaque.
Shouts out to Tony Braxton.
But I don't have a TLC plaque.
Wow.
But I do have a picture with them.
You worked at TLC project?
Yeah.
I know you. I just want to say that. I want to make sure.
Yeah. Oh,
man,
yeah.
I want to thank TLC. I want to thank you. Rest in peace to the great Vanessa Barrier. Yeah. Vanessa Barry is so kind to me. When I met TLC, I didn't even know I met them in New Orleans. I was sitting next to Left Eye, like, she said, there they go. Who, them little girls? I thought them, I promise God, like, you seen them in real life? I thought they were some little girls. I said, them little girls?
They were that short.
They were so little. I said, them little bitty girls, that's TLC. I'm like, wow. Left Eye, rest in peace, was probably one of the most kindest souls I ever met in my life.
Probably one of the dopest female rappers.
Dope and talented and humble. And I was talking and she said, we so tired of taking pictures. And I didn't want to get on their nerves. No, come on back. So back then we didn't have the phone. So we got to tell you this stuff. I'm a griot. A griot is a West African storyteller. I'm the South Dallas griot. So we got to tell you this stuff so intense so you can feel like you were there. Left Eye, Chili, and what's the T-Boss was so humble, and that couldn't have happened without Vanessa Barrier. Tell them about Vanessa Barrier, man. Rest in peace.
Before I tell you about Vanessa Barrier, I want to answer your question.
Okay.
I would have to say that, like I said, I like all the plaques I got.
Okay.
But the one that I cherish the most is the Rock the Boat.
Rock the Boat.
Aaliyah.
Mm-hmm. That's one
right before that plane crash, because you mentioned Gina earlier.
Rest in peace to Gina.
Right before that plane crash, I had a meet and greet in Dallas. They left Dallas to go shoot that video. And then boom, we hit. I got the only photo of Aaliyah and Monica together.
Wow. Show that to the camera, man.
Send that to me. Oh, I'm going to put it up.
Yeah.
You
give me goosebumps right now.
You snatch it off my Instagram, but I got the only photo of them. And I didn't know that. This was when they were 14 and 15.
Wow.
And we were in San Antonio. But
wow,
I didn't know I had the only photo I posted it, and somebody from Monica's camp grabbed it. Somebody from Aaliyah's camp grabbed it and was like, thanks for posting this. This is the only photo of them together anywhere.
That's what I'm talking about right there. That's what I'm about, man. I ain't trying to be fancy. I'm just all about, I want people that's out there watching this to know people from Dallas was doing iconic stuff like that, and we didn't know. Now it's all pre-contrived now. I'm going to do something iconic. Back then, we didn't even know what we was doing. We didn't know what we was doing. He didn't know. Billy Bowles didn't know. We didn't know we was interviewing one of the greatest lyricists in the groups ever, Outkast. They wasn't even legends then. Biggie Small wasn't Biggie.
Yeah.
When we did that stuff, we like some, all of y'all had us up there. We were just like we were sitting in an apartment in Arlington, and we used to go to BMG. That was like, y'all were like Santa Claus to us.
Pikahsso was Drake before Drake. I'm telling you, that's real.
Nobody.
That's right. It's on tape. It's on. He was singing and rapping long before we heard of Drake.
But when I did that stuff, though, people shunned me for that. So I took myself out the game. To all you kids out there, I was doing something very innovative, and I was in a city like Dallas. Now, we was late. I'm going to get deep right here. In Dallas, we still celebrate Juneteenth. So we have a slave mentality in our city. Juneteenth, when other people were free, we were still slaves down here in Texas. So that stuff kind of passed down. We don't know what we passing down. So I kind of shied away. When I was doing that style, when I watched Kendrick Lamar, like, man, what the hell was doing that? Like you said. Right. When I was doing the Drake, the little melodic stuff, everybody, Pikahsso, that stuff weird, man. Now I see people making million. I'm sitting up broke. I'm in a regular job. One thing about me, I've never been fake. I can't be fake. It makes me cringe when I'm being fake on the camera. I've been fake like once or twice on camera. Like, no, that ain't me, my nigga. I want people to watch this video. I'm like, man, it's sincere. I'm working a regular job and I'm doing all this innovative stuff, and I let people talk me out of my game. You like the little young sister right here in my peripheral. If you got something innovative in your heart, believe in it. Don't be me. Yeah. I'm a quinquagenarian. Mm-hmm. That's a guy between the ages of 50 and 59. I love to propagate the knowledge. If you believe in yourself if your mama don't believe in you, believe in yourself. Mm-hmm. Sometimes the people around you be so heavy. That's shaitan. That's shaitan. Shaitan is the devil in Arabic. The shaitan is always around you. Now, girl. Yeah. No, you smile. Your smile is your dactylogram. Your dactylogram, that's your imprint. You walk in there like you own it. And that's what I didn't do. I let people, when there was artists I seen that came into town, I know I can devour on the mic. Aziz know he can devour. We played the back. You got to know your time, and it's all about timing and going there like you own it and walking there like the kings and the queens that we are. Like I told you, I'm a griot. That's a West African storyteller. So I got to pass my knowledge on to you because I like your energy. Energy is important. We all have these little radar, these little Doppler chakras that's coming out of us. And the energy that you emit, whether you realize it or not, it's affecting others. That's why Andre and 3000 and Big Boy are great. They knew how to took what you said with Shanti Das and roll with it. Biggie and Craig Mack know how to listen to Big P. Diddy. So be great. That's what I didn't do. Because everybody in my inbox, Pikahsso, you woulda, shoulda, you shoulda, woulda, woulda. I did that to myself. Mm-hmm. I did that. I was playing too shy sometimes, playing too humble. No, F that. Go in there and act like you own it and be great and study. All I did was all night, sitting up all night long, listening to these intricate haikus and all this troubadours. You know what a troubadour is? Troubadour is like a poet from back in the day when they incorporated in the medieval times where they incorporated harmonies. Try to learn stuff that you're not even interested in. My brain is I'm like a walking almanac. I gotta pass this stuff on. I went on my little tirade, but I just want you, because you was asking some cool questions, this sister right here, and I'm looking at you. And I want you to be great. Like he was saying, like the Drake. Now look at Drake in the mansion. I'm in a 520-foot square apartment, broke, working at a job, playing. They almost been broken me. I almost been like you know what Stockholm Syndrome is? Stockholm Syndrome, when you start.
Shoot, that joker got a whole ranch in Houston.
Stockholm Syndrome.
Drake when just bought a whole ranch.
I'm gonna get off this real quick. A Stockholm Syndrome when the people that oppress you, when you start feeling sorry for them. I became a shell of the man that I once was, and I want any kid to look at this and say, I want to talk to Pikahsso. I don't play no more. I'm like Scared Straight. You ever watch Scared Straight? I'm like Scared Straight in music. I don't play with these kids no more. You're a rat, boy. You see this rat? This gonna be your pet? No, I ain't that joke. Look, I'm the little boy from the original Scared Straight, which my mama with the eye missing. I remember him. Hey, don't Scared Straight. I'm him. We playing, man. Be great. What's your name?
My name is Cornisha.
Cornisha, be great. Will you please be great for me? Be great for me. I love you. I never met you before, but you have what they call a Deshin smile because you emit natural energy. When you have a Deshin smile, that means your natural facial muscles are emitting natural energy. That's your best credit card. Use that. Continue.
Absolutely.
And we're back.
And we're back. Hey, but you know what? If I didn't do that, I wouldn't be me.
You wouldn't be you. Yeah, I was about to say you Pikahsso.
It wouldn't be you.
Pikahsso.
I want to say that when it comes to every aspect of the making of the music, because you have been in the arena of marketing the music and promoting it, and then you transition into actually let me see, how can I describe it? From a production company, or explain, like, as far as artists are concerned and trying to get them on.
Ding, 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 ding.
Uh-oh. So, like the transition you said, a lot of people don't know I had a whole record label.
Wow.
Of my own, and I had partners. You was right here. It was going on the whole time.
What was the name of the label?
It was back then. It was called New Flow because we were trying to bring a new flow to this industry, and it was myself.
Ding.
Tony Blaine from Natural Change, the group that plays around here now. He was the keyboard player. Don Farrow, talk about a dope engineer and producer.
Don Farrell.
Never heard of him. Shouts out to Don Farrell.
Yeah. And he was incognito like that.
Right.
That's why a lot of people don't know about it, but he could engineer your product and he could hear. And he's still down there in Fort Worth. Karen Darby.
Okay.
And Johnny Kroon. Shout out to all of them.
I heard of Johnny Kroon.
And I put this group of people together while I was working at BMG.
Okay.
At one point, we had 10 artists. That's where Massive, Soul.
He said massive.
Yeah.
Hey, Massive.
Squad X and that. Yeah.
Squad X. Massive came to I think Keynote brought Massive to me at BMG.
Okay. Okay.
And told him to rap for me.
Massive.
And he was awful. And I was like, who is this dude?
Right.
Had him meet me at the studio because we had a studio we worked out of and everything.
Okay.
And it didn't cost us a dime. Don had worked that out. Massive meets us at the studio. We put him in the booth. He turned into a whole nother person.
Yeah.
Tell him about Massive. That's his boy, right? Look how he's smiling. Tell him about Massive, with his style.
Y'all did something together. Yeah. That dude, I was like, you didn't do this in my office.
Right.
That dude turned into a whole nother person when we put him in that booth.
Yes, sir.
Who do Massive remind you if you had to compare him to somebody?
If I had to compare,
I love Massive.
Man, where is he?
Atlanta.
He's in Atlanta.
Man, I don't know who I would compare him to because he was here at that time.
Yeah.
And there was nobody like him here.
Nobody.
So many great artists.
That's like it was nobody like y'all here.
Yeah.
That's why it worked.
Yeah.
And there was nobody like Ness here.
Yeah.
Ness.
That's why it worked.
Ness can spit. What up, Ness?
He's one of the greatest.
Oh,
he's
my
in my
God.
top 5
Ness?
Dallas MCs.
Ness? In the top 5?
Yeah, Ness is. In Dallas, you know what I'm saying, coming up lyrically. We talking lyrically.
I want to hear this.
In Dallas.
Your top 5. I want to hear your top 5 in Dallas. That's a good topic.
I mean, but I already said Ness.
Ness.
Soul is in that.
Soul
is in that.
That was
in that number also. Massive is in that number. Classic is in that number.
Classic.
And it was somebody else.
He said Massive.
You ain't talking about Dow Jones. Nobody.
Dow Jones. What about
But
him?
Dow Jones was with my son, though.
Okay.
Dow Jones can spit too.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But he got them. He remind me of Jay-Z, kind of like.
Yeah.
I like this kind of talk.
Quasar was dope as
Yeah.
a
Quasar.
producer, too.
Yes.
Whoa,
Yeah,
you
Squad
took
X.
it back.
Squad X, and that
That's the
girl.
whole clue.
Zayn, Baby Doll.
Baby
Alchemy
Doll.
Jones.
Baby
Yeah.
doll.
Yeah.
She in Hawaii right now.
Yeah.
Is she?
Yeah.
That's my
I talked to her on
sister.
TikTok.
Yeah.
Man, that girl was so
Couple of them.
cold.
Still dope.
Zayn.
Yeah,
Alchemy.
Zayn, Alchemy
That whole
Jones.
group.
Yeah.
I mean, we had them.
Yeah.
But at the time,
At the time, brother.
the timing was perfect.
Yeah.
But it was off too, because again, like I said about y'all owning,
Yeah.
y'all knew the business.
Yeah.
It wasn't no. I mean, Soul wanted to sign with us, but didn't want to give up none of the publishing.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
I don't want all of it, but I'm gonna be working this. You gotta give me some.
They was young and hard headed, man. I love them to death.
they was.
Yes.
Man, we
Yes.
could have took. Then we ended up with a. That's why I say you gotta know who you're dealing with.
Absolutely.
We had a crazy lawyer, out of Oklahoma, and he came. Well, actually, Peaches. He came as Peaches' lawyer, and he saw our operation. He kicked Peaches to the curb and was like, I need to get down with y'all.
Wow.
Because he saw
Yeah.
Then we went to South by Southwest
I
one
need to go
year.
there again.
Okay.
And the dude that was the head of Capitol Records, I was working one side of the room. The lawyer was working the other side. So he got with the big wig and started talking that lawyer talk. And shoot, man, we thought we was finna have a deal with Capitol. And then the lawyer went shady on us.
Good guy.
Damn.
And because he was coming into the fold as a partner,
Yeah.
he actually cut me a check for 10 G's.
Damn, I wish I had 10 G right now.
And we was gonna open the bank account for the business.
Okay.
So we get started, and we called him and said, "All right, man, we gonna go and deposit this." He hit us back immediately and said, "Don't cash that check." Oh, he had his assistant call us and said, "Don't cash that check."
Wow.
A week later, he was locked up.
Yeah.
So I might have that check somewhere.
Shop to see when it's still cash. Run that mug.
Man. And then we had an opportunity with, I don't know if y'all remember when Virgin 2 came. Terry probably remember.
Virgin
But
2?
Virgin Records, what's his name that owned Virgin Records? I can't think of his name right now.
The white boy?
The white boy, yeah.
Oh
with
my
the planes
God. I
and
can't
with
think
The
of his
plane,
name.
Virgin Airlines.
Ah, man, it's on, him,
yeah,
that guy.
him.
Brunson, is it Brunson?
Charles Brunson?
Not Charles, that's the actor.
Okay, I don't know. I'm just Terry laughing at me.
But he started Virgin 2
Okay.
because I think he had sold Virgin to SEMA.
Okay.
So he started Virgin 2, and the guy that was over the black music department came from RCA. Byron Pitts, rest in peace. And I called Byron and I sent him a CD of all the different artists we had. We had a Hispanic girl group. We had a group out of the UK that was like New Edition. I still got this music.
Candy Girl.
Right.
I still
my
got
love.
this music from them to this day. I still play it.
Wow.
And the artists that we had, I still got that music.
Yeah.
And Byron Pitts heard that music, went to the guy that was his boss. He heard the music. We met with him at that South by Southwest, and he was like, "Just let me get back to New York. We gonna do something with y'all." We had 10 artists,
Right.
and they was ready to go.
Okay.
And they needed to make something happen at Virgin 2.
Right.
Byron had a heart attack and died. And it just
That's crazy.
Living in Dallas is almost like good
And
times.
before he died, when dude got back, they had did away with the black music division. So we couldn't. He was gonna do a joint venture deal with us.
Living in Dallas is like good time. Remember they were finna get out the ghetto and Keith tripped and fell over in the wedding and he was sitting on the couch.
Yeah.
That's the equivalent of living in Dallas. Good time. Every time they finna get out the hood, something happened.
Yeah.
He had a deal, Red Rum, y'all, man, just so many. We'd have met with so many people. Oh man, that dude tripped over the cup and it's like the butterfly effect and it don't happen.
Me and Massive had a deal with Electra.
Well, who's the guy
Really?
name you named
Yeah.
off?
Huh?
You the guy that did that deal?
Well, that was first we had the deal with Atlantic with Mike Karen
That's
over
the
at
man.
Atlantic, and when Mike Karen, he's the one who helped us, me and Massive, get our song placement in You Got Served and King's Ransom. So we got a song in all those movies, and so because his thing was, you guys are dope, but you've never sold a record before.
Right.
And he was like, I got to build up a story for you. What can I do to build you guys up? And in doing so, we did the remix for Nappy Roots, the first single on their second album called Round the Globe. So we were prepped for Atlantic, and Sylvia Rome calls. She got a hold of it, and Sylvia Rome says, look, I need a rap group for Electra. Because she was like, all I got is Busta Rhymes and Missy Elliott.
Who, by
She
the
was
way, are
like-
very dope.
Exactly.
Right.
So she was like, we don't have anyone else. I want the Slump Masters. We're going to get them. So we was like, cool. Because she was like, but I'm not, what do they call it? I'm not competing against Atlantic as far as, a bidding war because
Right.
we're part of the same company.
Right,
You know
right,
what I'm
right.
saying? So we're not doing that. And so she says, look, I am going out of town for 4th of July. You know what I'm saying? When I get back, we're going to go ahead and sign the deal, and you guys are going to be on Electra. Cool. She said, don't sign with nobody. That happens. We don't sign with nobody. Here comes 4th of July. 2 weeks later, calling the attorney like, yo, what's going on? We haven't heard anything. Call Mike Karen. He's like, I really don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I had to step back. Then I look at BET and they say Sylvia Rhone is now over at Motown.
Y'all got caught in that.
Yes. She left Elektra.
That happened so many, and she knew she was leaving when she went on that trip.
Exactly. My thing is, don't tell me that. But at least have the courtesy to call and say that.
That wouldn't be the music industry.
And so then we were like, okay, Motown is cool. She's like, well, my priorities are different at Motown. Motown, we're trying to build it back up. We're trying to get more R&B. We're not really dealing with rap. So it just kind of left us floundering. It was a crazy moment.
You said floundering. I like that word.
Hey, man, I was about to say, but you see the dynamic?
Yeah.
It's almost like going to work at corporate versus being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
True.
Y'all was already doing this stuff. You didn't need to fuck with Sylvia.
That's what I wanted to ask you. Does it even matter?
Like, I'm sorry, I love Sylvia.
Did that even matter that the record interest, y'all didn't have a story? If y'all was dope, wouldn't they just put y'all? What difference does it make?
Busta didn't have no. Well, I guess his story
Leaders
was
of the New School.
Leaders of the New School.
Yeah.
That was his story.
Does that even matter?
I think,
but it don't matter. To me, it don't.
I don't think that shit matter no more. Just put it out there.
But this is what I learned. And, I learned that A&Rs and labels in the early 2000s became extremely lazy. They weren't just finding talent and then putting the money into them, developing, putting together. They wanted you already ready. Right. They wanted you to already hit the streets like you Master P and you done sold 50, 60,000 out there. That's what they wanted, because for them, that was for show money. They already know you're already making money. All we're really doing is exposing you on a larger scale, and we just want to clone what you have done on a large scale so we can invest our money and then make a whole bunch of money back, guaranteed. Mm-hmm. They were not really into gambling anymore and developing a damn thing.
Wow.
Period.
And then one of the reasons I got in this business is I was reading the credits and I was learning. My favorite A&R back in that day was Louis Silas Jr.
Okay.
And I was like, I even wrote dude a letter for when he came, when I was working at MCA, he came to town because they had given him a label deal. And that's when he had Shantae Moore and Keith, not Keith Sweat, but the other Keith Washington. And he brought Shantae. We had Shantae here for a showcase and everything. And that's when I wrote him the letter, put it in an envelope, told him he was my mentor. I wanted to work my way up to A&R because back then, A&Rs got paid dang near six figures.
Absolutely.
What you just broke down was cats in A&R getting 50, 60,000 a year to run around and find producers and hang out in studios, like you said, and make sure they was already ready, and then they'd probably be some young street kid because hip hop had became this big thing. So and a lot of the regular A&Rs back then, they didn't know how to talk to them young cats. That was, then you got a lot of them was drug dealers trying to clean up their money. Yep. And you got to know how to deal with them cats.
Yeah. You got to talk about that, remember?
Yeah, you got
on the phone, remember?
Right. You got to know how to deal with that. I got
ran up by some malls.
Yeah. And
Six Flags.
He was so busy looking at Nicole that he didn't read the letter.
Looking at who?
Nicole Snyder. Yeah, I said it, Nicole, live on the thing. I mean, she and I have laughed about this. I said he was so busy chasing you that, because at that time she had moved up. She was doing the marketing, or she had moved to radio by then. But it was like, man, that kind of broke my spirit. Because and then he told me, yeah, I'm gonna talk to you before I leave, and never happened, never transpired, because it's just, it is what it is, though. You had to learn certain things.
You said it broke your spirit. Wow.
And
never heard you say that.
Oh yeah, it broke my spirit because I really wanted to. I saw myself doing that. Right. But coming from a little country town, I didn't know all the intricate other parts of. I'm a good dude. I I ain't no gangster. I ain't
Right.
You know, I'm no punk bitch, but
Ain't no punk bitch.
you know, I go with the flow. I'm nice and everything. You got to be a little bit cutthroat when you get up there.
You know what? James told me that.
Yeah.
James told me, he said, Pikahsso, the reason why you didn't make it is you too goddamn nice.
Yeah.
You play mean, but you're a nice guy, Pikahsso. You too nice
Yeah.
and friendly, and you help everybody.
Same here.
He said, you just
you
too
gotta
good-hearted.
be a little bit cutthroat.
I can't be cutthroat.
To
It ain't
deal
my
with
nature.
these guys, especially when you're trying to work your way up.
Right.
I mean, and that's just not in the music industry. That's in any industry.
You think
that
so? Any industry?
Oh, any industry. And the reason why I say that because even in a management role somewhere else, you know, you gotta make sure your team following the directives. And if they don't follow directives, you hate to put them on paper, but you got to put them on paper.
Yeah.
Or else somebody will flip it on you and
Yep.
say, oh, no, Mr. Billy told me that. Mr. Billy didn't say nothing.
I know I'm asking a rhetorical question, but wonder why I got to be like that. Why come everybody just can't be on the up and up? Why I don't like crooked music business shit. I hate it. That's why I didn't make it. I'm James Wright. I hate being crooked. It ain't me. It suck. I think being crooked is like you selling your soul to the devil. Just do people right.
But you know about that book.
What's that book?
Up here, the MCA and the Mafia. That's Stiffed is the name of the book.
That's the name of the book?
Stiffed. It's an old book. It's probably still out there in print. Stiffed, the music industry, MCA and the music industry and the Mafia.